Welcome to Coach Marino's Game Day show here at Jaxx Sportsbar in Palmetto. I'm Brian Varnador, and I'm joined by Ken Burton Jr. and Tiger head coach Dave Marino. Ken.
Coach Marino, introduce your guests we have with us tonight.
Well, we have Baby J, Jalen Wester. We have his big brother, MVP, 6A, FACA, MVP, LeJante Wester. And then we have our quarterback, everybody's All-American, Xavier Williams, and our captain, defensive captain, Dominant Floyd Dozier.
Question for you, gentlemen. Over 100 Tiger fans donated money for y'all to be able to spend the night, have a nice dinner, going to Tallahassee for the game. What was your most memorable experience for the trip?
Mine was just experiencing my favorite college and getting to see the field and stuff and practicing on the field and preparing for the big game that we played in.
And which college is that?
Florida.
University of Florida Gators.
Well, I just want to thank all the people who donated for us to be able to go on this trip. And my favorite part of the trip was touring Florida and practicing on the field and just hanging out with the bros.
Along with Jonte, I also do thank everybody who's donated because it was a big contribution and it really helped, in terms of the trip, food, and where we stayed at. Most thing I liked about the trip was, touring Florida and be able to practice in their indoor facility and be able to just have good times with your brothers and play the game that you love.
Mine was the same as the Jonte's and Xavier's and Jalen's. My favorite experience was touring Florida, practicing on the field with the whole team, just going to a different atmosphere and getting ready before a big game.
I just want to echo all of their sentiments as well. Thank you so much to all the Tiger fans out there. I always say that Palmetto's a special place, but the way the Palmetto community rallied around, this team and gave them an opportunity to basically live a dream. These kids are going to, remember this for the rest of their lives. So you created, just a lifelong memory for them, and I couldn't be more appreciative, and thank you for all your support.
Well, thanks, Coach Marino. Let's get right to the action and talk through some of the highlights from that October 25th game with the Tallahassee Lincoln Trojans.
We knew we were going to be in for, a heavyweight fight. Tallahassee Lincoln is a perennial powerhouse. And so, we knew we were going to be in for, a tough game. And it lived up to every bit of it. The quarterback, it was just outstanding. The way he was elusive, the way he was able to keep his eyes downfield and throw accurate balls. He was phenomenal all night long, and that's the reason why he's a Division I player. Then you have the big tight end, right there, who's another Division I player. I believe he's a Clemson commit. He's a beast. I mean, that's like Gronkowski. I mean, you got a man playing with boys, and but our defense did a great job. They took the opening drive and they were moving it on us, but we were able to get down in the red zone and hold them off and hold them to a field goal. As you see right here, they're down there. We get great pressure. Kevion. We told them all along they had to be disciplined and stay in their rush lanes, and Kevion got caught inside a little bit and gave him outside leverage. But again, credit to our defense, to shut the door on them right here and force the field goal. We had talked about, all week long, we felt like we saw a weakness between the left tackle and the tight end. And we kept telling Ellison, basically, hey, you're going to get one. You're going to get one. And he does right before the half. But, it was a shame we couldn't have got a couple early. So, again, LeJante, so explosive, elusive himself, giving us great field position, starting on the 30. And offensively, this was not what we had planned. We came with an unbalanced formation, so we had them outflanked. And to have them outflanked and have them outmanned and to lose 5 yards, not the way you want to start the game. But great vision, elusive, escapability there by Xavier, and then to get it to Kobe. And Kobe walked the tightrope on that one to get his feet down. And then just a great read, great ball by Xavier. Just one of those things, But, we told LeJounte as soon as he came off the field, you're going to have a great night. You're going to make a lot of plays. Just put it behind you. And that's what you have to do. Unfortunately, this was a miscue on our part in terms of our scheme and our assignments, and that's on me. I took the blame for that. We need to do a better job. We thought about a fake, but really I wasn't feeling great about it, and we should have brought the guys back in to actually get full protection, and unfortunately there was a miscommunication, and again that's my fault, and that can't happen. So basically we give them a short field, and you can't do that against really good football teams, and they capitalize on this drive. Again, he's elusive, he's difficult to tackle, and that's what happens when you turn the ball over. You're gonna, against good football teams, they're gonna make you pay for it, and they did right there. But again, the resiliency of our kids, 10-0 on the road, hostile environment, great football program, great football team, but yet we're able to take this drive and put together a really nice drive, especially after the penalty. We start this drive on our own 10, and so again, it's just a credit to our kids and our coaches and the game plan we put together. We wanted to come out fast, and we did. We knew we were going to get a lot of man coverage, so we felt like we had all the man beaters that we needed in the game plan, and Xavier just ran this first drive to perfection, getting it to all the playmakers' hands and making the right reads and right decisions. And we do, I believe, and Brian, you probably know better than I think this drive only maybe took us 2 minutes, correct? Yeah. A big play right there.
Great concentration, LeJounte.
We knew LeJounte was going to battle back and have a heck of a game, and there's perfect example. The next ball to him, he comes up with a big gain. Sajal Hickson running hard, pounding that rock. Again, keeping them off balance, going with our hurry up, and then again, great ball, great decision, great read by Xavier, and a great throw and catch by Dravian Butler, and that quickly now you got yourself a ball game. And so 10-7 would have been nice if we would have been up 7-3, but like I said, that punt blunder really put us behind a little bit. But then again, our kickoff team comes down, does a great job. We got some heavy hitters. There's Baby J. There's Jalen in there making a big hit, as he always does on kickoff. And Robert Gavin does a great job. And again, we lost contain, and that was something that, we stressed to the D-line. They had to be disciplined. They had to stay in their rush lanes, to keep him contained. And unfortunately, we didn't do that, and we allowed him to get outside the pocket too many times, which put stress and strain on our back end.
And that receiver there is a world-class speed receiver that they had going there.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then just a great throw there. Just a great execution on that play, Coach.
Well, absolutely. And for a kid to be that big and that strong and that physical, and then to be athletic enough to make a catch like that. I mean, you see wide receivers do that, but you don't see tight ends. You don't see tight ends do that very often. And he's a special kid.
And Michael was in perfect coverage, and it was just a perfectly thrown ball. And you got to tip your hat to him.
Yep.
It was a game that I thought that they were playing in the zone. The output that they had in the game reminded me of that first half of Palmetto Tigers versus Largo.
Yeah.
It's one of those peak performances. They had it dialed in, but the Palmetto Tigers hanging very competitively. So at the end of the first quarter, Lincoln leads Palmetto 10-7. So we'll crank up some of those second quarter videos here, Coach.
Yeah, and again, it was unfortunate that we weren't up 7-3 at that point. But again, our defense held strong, holding Lincoln on a long drive to 3. And so it's still a ball game, 13-7. We get great field position again here. Great return by LeJounte Wester, starting on our own 30. And again, offensively, we had our chances. Xavier does a great job reading it right there, tucking it when it wasn't there in the passing game. And that's what happens when you play cover one, you play man. You're going to get those big run lanes for the quarterback because everybody's got their back turned. Again, we knew we were in a big time football game, and it was a great experience for our kids to realize where our weaknesses are. And right now, our punt team has to be better, and so we'll learn from those mistakes and clean it up before we get into this playoff run. Just another great ball could have been caught there. Like you were mentioning, he's got some jets. Again, we had our chances. Unfortunately, Jordan couldn't make the play there, and so gave that kid a chance to get outside the pocket. Again, pick up another first down. Then they dial up a great call right there with the screen. You'll see later on we had two opportunities. Again, great call for our two screens, and unfortunately, I think Sagel slipped on the one, and then like I said, we just we missed a couple blocks that should have been there. Again, it was a grinded out drive there.
And that was a fourth down, such a big conversion there.
Big play.
Fourth down play there.
Yeah. And offensively right there, that was just poor execution by us. Our tailback, Sagel Hickson, and all our tailbacks know they have to set the edge. That's the first thing we teach when we put that scheme in. And, right there you see these kids were hungry. Tallahassee Lincoln came ready to play. And, unfortunately, I think at certain times, I thought maybe we were looking at our number one ranking too much and not really focusing in on what was the task at hand Friday night. But again, that's a learning experience for our kids, and they'll learn from it.
Great catch there, Coach.
Big time catch, big time conversion, moving the chains. All right, again, LeJontay was outstanding from that first play, on the rest of the night. Again, that's an unbelievable catch. Great throw. I mean, that was well covered.
Yeah,
it couldn't have been thrown anywhere else. It was a difficult catch by LeJontay. And again, he was just outstanding. He was phenomenal all night long. Then we put him in at quarterback, and he does what he needs to do here at quarterback.
I love that.
Everybody bites on the dive, and he pulls it. Great read.
And fans at home will miss that. It came after a timeout. Coach made a quick change in there, kind of fooled him on that one, Coach.
Yep. And that was probably the only one. I was waiting for another diving catch by this kid. Like I said, his athleticism for how big he is was amazing.
Just missed blocking that.
But
one
our defense does a great job. They go 3 and out, and now we got good field position. And so we're looking for the offense to put a drive together. Right there, schematically, it wasn't there. Xavier, gets the intentional grounding call, and that's tough. Now you're way behind the chains, and it's always tough to come back from that. He was a little high on that throw. So we started with great field position, little momentum with the defense going 3 and out, and then we had to punt. Again, we have to do a better job with our punt team. Definitely, we've emphasized it the last 2 days in practice, and we will make sure we get it cleaned up.
Big hit by Stamp there, Coach, and really now they've got a chance to score again, which is going to be a critical stop for the Tigers.
Yeah, like I said, right before the half here, they got a little bit of a 2-minute drive going, and they moved the football a little bit, but finally, as you'll see coming up here,
he's going to get a first down there.
Ellison Bradley ends up making that block field goal like we had talked about all week, and so we were happy for him to be able to get in there and execute what we had worked on. Great job filling right there by Jock Hughes. We kept telling him, hey, he's a tree, so keep chopping him down, and eventually he'll fall. And later on in the game, he ends up coming out of the game. So our kids really matched the intensity as the game progressed. We just needed to come off the bus with a little bit more focus and determination. But that's great pressure there by Floyd, and unfortunately, he's just an elusive, great athlete, and Floyd didn't have any help. After he forces him out of the pocket, like I said, we should have been disciplined in our rush lanes on the edge and kept them bottled up in there, and then the linebackers needed to fill.
And they get a block in the back there on Matty Wyatt.
Yeah, big mistake by them, taking away any opportunity to score a touchdown, and now they have the field goal, and here comes Ellison. All right, and it was right where we drew it up, right where we knew their weakness was, And again, we saw it all week. We told them, we coached it, and finally we got one. So,
Yeah, that big tight end really made a big play there to hustle back. You got a live ball sitting up there.
Yeah.
It's, a half yard off the sideline there. And at this point in the game, Coach, I'm thinking, okay, they're playing an apex game. They're doing a great job. Everything's clicking for the other guys, and we're only down 20-14, and we've got the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
So I was feeling pretty good about the situation there at the close of the first half.
yeah, because all the things that went wrong.
Yeah, 3 or 4 plays that could have went the other way, and it could have been the other way around. Easily.
Yeah, so no, we were definitely confident coming out at halftime, but so were they, and that was the thing. I think again that punt really set the tone in terms of giving them life right out of the gate, and so they built on that as the game went on, and we were battling from behind, so to speak.
All right, so at this point, we'll probably turn it over to Ken Burton, and I think he might have some visitors with us, and we'll have some review some film here. I hope the guys can see the film here.
No film. I'm just going to ask him a question.
No film. Ken's just going to ask some questions.
The $1 million question.
The $1
Here we
million
go.
question. Yes, sir. Gentlemen. Okay, let's move to after the game. Coach shared with you some very wise thoughts about football being a game of will, and how Lincoln punched you in the face. A position y'all have not been in all year, where we had to take the loss. But you had the opportunity to ride back on the bus, most of you, for 5 hours. I've made that trip to Tallahassee 100 times. I know the road inside and out. But what was on your mind after the game, after Coach talked to you?
Thank you, Mr. Ken. Well, what was on my mind when we got on the bus was, like, first I was trying to figure out where we went wrong at and how we can, like, fight back and get better, so next week we come back even harder. And I just think we was all just disappointed in how we played, because we knew we didn't play as a team and we didn't play together. So, I mean, everybody was mad. So when we got on the bus, we just put our headphones in and watched the game.
Everybody was pretty down about the loss. I mean, it was a hard loss, but after that night, you really can't do nothing more about it, so you just got to put it behind you and focus on the next week.
I didn't ride on the bus, but as I know, the guys, everybody's mind was on the game. We were more or less worried about the next game ahead of us than the game we just played, because we already know what we did wrong in terms of mistakes. That's all it really was. The mistakes weren't there, then we would have came out and win like we've done every week. And, the simple fact of that mindset, that motto just came into practice this week. We've been having a good week of practice so far. It's just knowing where we went wrong, knowing where it's stuff we're capable of doing, and that ends up making us know what we could do throughout the week.
I was just thinking about that we weren't playing as a unit on defense or defensive line, and I was just trying to put it behind me and just get ready for the next week and just focus on the mistakes that we made in the game.
All right, very good, gentlemen. Brian, you ready to take us into the
ready
second
to roll,
half?
Coach. In a good position here, only trailing by 6 in a game, and let's pick up those third quarter highlights.
Yeah, so again, our kids were confident, that we can get back in this. We knew we'd made some mistakes and missed some opportunities early on, and again, LeJante, great return. Kickoff return team does a great job getting us out to the 46-yard line. So, again, we're in great field position. Good way to start. Second half, Dravian Butler, shifty, making guys miss. And then, here we go again. Xavier with an outstanding read. Fortunately, it was a little bit late on the throw. And again, there's the speed and athleticism of their back end and jarring it loose. But again, here's Sagel, that we were like a yard short. But unfortunately, the things he was able to do with those things late, earlier in the season against some other teams, it's real difficult to do that against fast, physical teams that play at a higher level. So he'll learn from that mistake too. You can get away with that against certain teams, but you just got to take what you can get. And so, that was a key drive right there. We ended up having the punt. And so, then we had another drive here that gets us down in there, and we were able to take away 3. So, we're right back in it. It's a new ball game. We'd like to score when we get down there that close, but, that's why we have Rafael Gonzalez. So, game on, right? 2017.
And it's raining.
Yep. But here comes the beast. Here comes Gronkowski. He's tough to defend. He's just so big. He can create separation from you with his size and athleticism and his reach.
Great play by Jalen there.
But yeah, Jalen's been outstanding all year. When we put him in at linebacker or kickoff or punt, he's always ready to make plays. And there's Floyd Dozier, our defensive captain, our stud in the middle, gets in the backfield, makes a great play. So now they're behind the chains, putting them in 3rd and long.
Unbelievable throw and catch.
That's what it is.
Ooh.
Right there. That's great coverage. That's D1 versus D1.
Yeah. And that's 3rd and 14 there, Coach.
You know what I mean? And it's just great coverage by Damon Hill, Day, and just a great ball. Couldn't have been placed anywhere else. Right there, Kobe Mays does a great job. We hit a little sluggo route. They had to grab them. It was going to be 6 if they didn't. And so, we're ready to answer, and we do. The kids, like I said, the kids are resilient. So we get the penalty. Xavier does a great job extending the play, just a little bit high.
Targeting there. Coach.
Finally they did call one.
Yeah.
And so we get the 15-yard penalty on that. Like I said, it sailed on Xavier, but great job of extending the play. And then again, when you go man coverage, this is what you get. Quarterbacks get these run lanes. You rush 4, you drop everybody else into coverage, and it creates opportunities.
And now here's where Bubba Butler did not touch the ground and was called down at the 5. And that turned out to be a very big play in the game, Coach.
Yeah, because instead of us having it at the 1, we're at the 5, and then, we miss a block, and now we get stuffed. And so at this point, I made the decision we have to take points. We needed to close the gap 27-20, and
Clanks off the upright.
It's just one of those things, As much of it was an easy field goal, there's never an easy field goal. Great job by Davion Cummings right there. He's just a football player who's got a great nose for the ball. So again, our defense has given us a chance. Unfortunately, it's not 27-24. It's not 27-20. It's still 27-17. So, but still within striking distance.
Ton of time on the clock still.
10 points, no big deal. Our defense does a great job. We get the ball at 45, great field position. Mm-hmm. So there's really no need to panic. No reason why we can't still go win this game. Great decision there. Again, good throw. And now we're on their side of the field and we're driving. And so that's where we want to be. And good job by Dravian Butler. Again, good job by Xavier Williams. And then another blunder. Another blunder. So instead of going in, maybe another field goal attempt or a touchdown, we're backed up. And there's just nothing in the playbook for, 3rd and 48 yards. I mean, there's nothing you can run. And so we try to get a little bit of it back.
Anise Johns, though, hustling back to get on that ball.
Oh, absolutely.
Huge
Great
play.
effort. Great effort.
The game would have been out of hand at that point, but Anise John hustled back there and picked that one up.
Yeah, so, again, we get a little bit of it back, but then again, here we go again. And this is what needs to be fixed. That's just no good.
And
we have to be better. Instead of it now staying 27-17, giving our defense a chance, they get those extra 2 points, which is crucial.
And I didn't notice this. That was that big Ennis, the tight end, came on the interior line and blocked that one.
Yeah, he's a beast. I mean, he is a big-time player. I mean, when you're going to Clemson, you're not just a Division I player. You're the best of the best. And so he made plays. And unfortunately, the bad snap was nothing as a result of him. It was basically self-inflicted on our part. And that's what we have to do. We have to maintain our focus a little bit more. We have to execute a lot better and take advantage of our opportunities, because when you're playing a great football team, you can't do those. You can't make those mistakes. You can make those mistakes and overcome those mistakes against inferior opponents. but you're putting too much pressure on yourself when you're asked to do it time and time again as an offense, a defense, and a special teams unit. So again, our coaches, our kids will learn from this. We will be more motivated and hungrier for this next opponent coming up.
Fourth quarter.
Ken? Now let's go into the fourth quarter highlights.
So again, fourth quarter, we pride ourselves of being better conditioned in the fourth quarter, and it's still within striking distance, 29-17. We get them in a third down here. Unfortunately, they convert, and like I said, they're moving the ball. Get down in the red zone again. We need to shut the door. We need to hold them to a field goal attempt. But again, unfortunately, when you got that kind of athleticism right there, I mean, that's just top-notch play right there. Credit to him and those guys. And again, you put the big kid in, and he's mowing people down. He can run the ball. He can do it all. And so they jump out. Took a little bit of momentum away from us. But again, our kids just kept fighting. And here we go again. We get decent field position. Jaxx gets it out to the 25 for us. And, offensively, we feel like we can score, and we can score quick. So we still feel like we got a chance. Right there's one that Kobe, usually hauls in. Fortunately, just off the fingertips. And then, puts us behind a little bit. But big conversion right there. Robert Gavin, new scheme Coach Ty put in this week. Outstanding scheme. Great third down conversion. All right, so we got a chance. Again, fourth down conversion. So we're driving, and we feel like if we can get down there and score quick, we still got a chance to win this game. All right, so LeJontay does a good job catching, getting down, and our tempo offense is starting to wear him down a little bit. All right, again, great decision. He pulls it, doesn't like the throw, tucks it and runs. Another first down.
Again,
So we
man coverage again, right, Coach?
Yep.
And so
and that's the thing, when you get that man coverage and you don't like your matchup, if you can tuck it and run, you're going to get some wide open lanes. And again, there's just tough running by Sajel Hickson. So we're there, down in the red zone, and then as something we had drew up.
Robert Gavin.
We've
Nice
been
call.
practicing for a couple weeks. So again, we punch it in the red zone. We're not settling for a field goal there.
Had a look, we had an open receiver on the
Yeah.
2-point conversion, dropped it, and then we come out with the onside kick.
Yeah. So again, at that point in the game, we felt like we needed to, but that's the trade-off. You give them a short field, but it didn't hurt us.
Jaquez
Big
Hughes.
play by Jaxx. So again, now we feel like we got a shot. We can go down there and score 36-30 with with a few minutes to play. So we're feeling good right now. All right, just a little bit high. A catch, Dravian, maybe makes in the past. Unbelievable catch it would have been, but, he's made them before. So, again, we missed one there. Good decision by Xavier.
Comes up about a half yard short there, Coach.
Yeah,
4th and 1.
yeah. So we feel like we got it, and just right there, just a drop. And that's something that again, just uncharacteristic of Bub. That was a pretty routine catch. And so we don't convert the fourth down, and that's a momentum killer. Now our defense, if we take it down and we score on that drive, then our defense has a little something more to fight for. But at that point, like I said, that big fourth down conversion, Bub's been solid for us all year. So, obviously Xavier felt good going to him, and, he just couldn't deliver for us in that moment. But it is what it is. That's football. You're going to make plays. You're going to miss some plays. And fortunately, we missed one right there. And again, defensively, they're just, they're on the ropes right now, and not much to fight for. And like I said, so they finish us off right there. And that's it.
Time running out. His knee was probably a little bit short there. I really was impressed, Coach, with the play of Xavier Williams. He had 70 yards rushing in the game to go along with 200 and some I think he had 320 yards of total offense. And LeJontay Wester really had a great game. 6 receptions. We talk about maybe one that got away, but 6 receptions for 130 yards receiving. You'll take that.
Oh, absolutely. And then all of his special teams yardage and giving us great field position. So, no, we knew, and that's why it was it was no panic. So what? You dropped it, move on. And he did that. And like I said, just some other opportunities that we missed. And guys got to take advantage of those opportunities. You have to. In big games against great football teams, evenly matched football teams, it's going to be the teams that are going to make the plays and not make the mistakes. It comes down to third downs and turnovers. And unfortunately, our punt team, those turnovers were killers. And so we'll learn from it. We'll do a better job with our punt team, and we are doing a better job this week in our preparation, and we'll get those mistakes fixed.
So Coach, you challenged them after the game. It's a game of will. They had a long bus ride home. You've had a few days to dwell on it. Couple of practices. How have the kids responded so far this week?
Great, and I didn't expect anything different. These kids have been a resilient group all year long. They come to work every day. They're never satisfied. They're always trying to get better. And this opportunity to play a great football team showed some of our weaknesses or areas where we need improvement. So we've attacked punt. That's our first special team that we practice every day all year long, and we just went at it with a little bit more fervor and determination this week. And so Monday and Tuesday we spent extra time on punt team, and so the mistakes will be corrected and we will be better because of it.
So let's talk about the Green Devils. They're coming into town Friday night, a team that has kind of had the opposite season as if we've had. They struggled. They're 2-7. They've lost the last 3. They've only scored double digits in one of their games all season. So how do you use a game like this as you were looking for true character from them? How are you going to respond? So how do you use a game like this Friday for our Tigers?
Well, again, the pain and the memory is very short term. I believe we were picked by 3 touchdowns Friday night. We saw how that worked out. So
yes.
I can assure you our guys better be focused, and if they believe whatever we're supposed to win by, if they believe that, then we'll get beat. And that's point blank. It's that simple. And I can't stress that enough. I don't care if you play a Pop Warner football team. If you put the ball on the ground, if you don't block people, if you throw the ball to the other team, if you don't fit in the right gaps, and you don't make tackles, if you don't play this game with fight and fire and passion, you'll get beat. I don't care who you're playing. You see it every week in the NFL, college, high school. And so I think our kids understand that message, and I'm sure that they will not be overlooking the St. Pete Green Devils.
All right, Coach, it's senior night this week, and for most seniors, it's going to be the last night that they don a football uniform. Of course, with the Palmetto Tigers, we look to move on and keep playing some football. What makes this Tiger class of 2020 special?
Well, I think you've seen it all year long. The skilled receivers that we have, they've just been phenomenal. The way they block, the way they can make catches, they can make people miss. Again, when you're able to score the way we were in a cover one or man situation, that just goes to show you how hard they've worked at their craft, how explosive they are, and how difficult they are to cover. And then you go to the back end, to the defensive backfield, with Damon Hill and Raekwon Crawford and Ellison Bradley and Braden Nickel, and the list goes on and on. Tyler Wells. That's where our strength is with our senior leadership. That's where these guys have played a lot of football. And so, we expect those guys to go out at home and have an outstanding night and put on a phenomenal performance and just represent in front of their hometown, in front of their student, body and their peers and their families. And like I said, we're looking for those guys to dominate like they always do. And then you have the juniors that are going to play hard for their big brothers and make sure that they're sent off on the right note on senior night.
Well, for the Tiger fans, just so you know, the FHSAA RPI rankings came out today, and our Tigers are still number 1 in 6A, dropped to number 4 overall. That has to do with the strength of schedule that we have. I wonder who made that schedule up. That's really helped.
Good decision by a coach many years ago, I guess, Ken.
However, the Tigers still need to take care of business Friday night. We'll find out Sunday morning early. They start with 1A and work their way up through the different classifications on who will be coming to Harley Stadium Friday, November 8th for the first round of the playoffs. We're 68 percentage points ahead of Lake Gibson for Region 4, which impacts the first 3 home games. I know that's down the line, and we're just worrying about the Green Devils this week. And then we're 11 percentage points ahead of Naples. So all that's just way ahead. Tigers got to take care of business Friday night for that all to happen, and we'll just see how it lands, and we'll go from there. Brian?
Yeah, one thing as I look at it, and with all the great news, the things that have happened with the Tigers, you 10 hours of travel last week and all the swirl. The great thing about life and football, you have a little bump in the road. And with coaching, all that, this whole season, 9 games out there, all that, really the Tiger focus this week, Coach, you got 48 minutes in front of you. The entire focus is senior night, Friday night at Harley. Come to the jungle, watch those Palmetto Tigers. That is the only thing that matters at this point, Coach. And the focus is, all the stuff in the past is the past. It's time to go forward, and it's playoff time after this next game. Critical win needed for the Tigers. We encourage all the fans to come out to Palmetto High School and watch a game. If you're out of state, you can watch this on TigerVision. And I want to thank everybody for watching Coach Marino's Coaches Show featuring Tiger highlights from Jaxx Sportsbar in Palmetto on TigerVision as presented by Conley Buick GMC. We hope to see you at the game, senior night, this Friday night at Harley Stadium. When it comes to Palmetto and this community, it's all about one town, one team. Go Tigers. Thanks,
Amen.
Coach.
Yes.